All right, hi guys. So we're gonna go over factor by grouping. So we need to remember that factoring is all about breaking an expression into its multiples and then identifying common factors, or at least, sorry, that is definitely part of it. It's not the only part. So what I've given to you is this an expression right here, and it's kind of a different one. And what I've done is there's already some factoring that's happened, and then I want to identify what's left is what part of it is greatest common factor. And so I noticed that this 3x plus 2 is being multiplied to the 3x and the negative 2. Oh, sorry. So that x plus 2 is technically a factor, and I can take that out of each one. And what I'm left with is that 3x and that minus 2. Okay. And I know that that's a little bit hard to see, but when we get through the pattern, you'll be able to pick out the stuff pretty easy. So factor by grouping is used when we have 4 terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you steps to factor this, and then we'll do some examples. So the first step is that you're going to break into 2 groups. That looks like info, sorry, hold on. In 2 groups. Step 2. You're going to find the GCF, so the greatest common factor, for each group. And take it out just like we take out greatest common factors previously. Then the last step, you're going to put your greatest common factors, well, I don't know what that was, put GCFs into one set of parentheses, and the remainder oops, sorry, I just like threw a big line there. And the remainder, which match each other. Into another. All right, and I know that seems really weird right now, but as we do an example, hopefully this will make more sense. So the first step for example A here. So we've got 4 terms. We have 4 things, added or subtracted together. And so I want to break into 2 groups. So step 1 is I'm going to put x to the 3rd plus 7x squared in parentheses together. And the 2x and the 14. And usually what I can do is just kind of draw those in, but I'm going and using my steps here. So then step 2 is we want to find the greatest common factor and then write what's left over. So, oh, I'm sorry. So the greatest common factor between x cubed and 7x squared is x squared. So I'm left with, actually let's do that in a different color. X plus 7 when I take out that x squared from each of them. Then I'm going to take out the greatest common factor is 2 from that. And look, I get x plus 7 when I take the greatest common factor out of each of those. So that has to happen. those two things need to match or else I did something wrong. So the last step is to take my greatest common factors that I had, that x squared and the 2, and those go in parentheses. And then the parts that match, because really these become like another greatest common factor, those go into their own set, and that's my answer. Answer, it's done. Okay. All right, so let's try one more. So on this one, instead of writing it out quite so detailed, I'm just gonna I'm gonna break it up this way. I'm gonna make my two groups. Here we go. So the greatest common factor between 8x cubed and negative 64x squared is 8x squared. Think about what we're left with. So go ahead and I'm gonna be quiet for a second. Think about what we would have left over. Hopefully you got x minus 8. Because 8x cubed divided by 8x squared would be just x, and then negative 64x squared divided by 8x squared gives me just negative 8. And then, so here's the tricky part. The x minus 8 for the second one, you're like, there's no greatest common factor. Yeah, that's true. So when that happens, what we do is we just take 1 out. And then we're left with x minus 8, which is cool. We needed that. So my answer is 8x squared plus 1 and the x minus 8. And that's it. Okay, that is it for the grouping notes. So go ahead and either do the worksheet or do the Brain Genie, and please let me know if you have any questions.